Okay. We're in session in cause number 327992. Case of style, the state of Texas versus Timothy DeCarlos Bessert.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bessert, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bessert, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Bessert, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Bessert?
I'm doing fine. Could be a lot better.
Okay, that's good. Now, Mr. Bessert, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Antoine Freeman. Attorney Freeman, how you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor.
Attorney Freeman, will you be waiving a record?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Bessert, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about August 28th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon. Mr. Bessert, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge, Mr. Bessert, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Could you repeat yourself?
Are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bessert,
Sir.
I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Bessert, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this document, Mr. Bessert, there are a set of initials, KB, on a line next to a box that's checked nola contendere. Are these your initials? Did you
Yes, sir.
place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of the same document, there's a signature at the top of this document. That's a signature, okay. And Mr. Bessert, is that your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of the same document, Mr. Bessert, there's a signature. This document is titled The Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, do we have the discovery certification? Thank you. Mr. Bessert, I have another document before me. This document is titled the Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
Is that your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Bessert, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, you did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1?
Yes, Your Honor. And the state would also offer State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit.
Any objections?
Without objection, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibits Number 1 and State's Exhibit Number 2 will be admitted. Mr. Freeman, you advised that counsel, Mr. Bessert, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bessert, your attorney, Mr. Freeman, has advised and counseled you Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, I am, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bessert, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
It's 60 days jail. It has credit for 60 days jail, so it's time served with court costs taxed and retired. And also agreement for forfeiture of the weapon.
Now, Mr. Bessert, the state is offering that you serve 60 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you've already served 60 days in jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case is $337, but you will not have to pay the court costs because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Bessert, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, I do.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you, okay, also, Mr. Bessert, and do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Now, Mr. Bessert, I also have before me a document that is titled Motion to Forfeit. As part of the state's offer, the state is filing a motion for you to forfeit the weapon. Now, I have before me the motion to forfeit the weapon. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir. Your
Is
Honor.
that your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, prior to signing and initialing this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir. He did
And-
very thoroughly.
And did you read everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir. It
Okay.
is.
Now, Mr. Besser, I will grant the state motion to forfeit the weapon that you have agreed to. And Mr. Besser, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Besser, your attorney has handed you a document that is titled Model Written Admonishment on Ineligibility to Possess Firearm or Ammunition. And I will go over this document with you, and it reads, in accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonish you of the following. Number one, you are, by entry of order or judgment, ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code, Section 46.013A, firearm means any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife, blade, or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are a starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Order for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code, Section 46.02, Unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code, Section 46.04, Unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code, Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse or neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code, Section 85.026, warning on protective orders. Now, Mr. Bessert, that is your copy for you to keep for your records. Mr. Bessert, please stand on the X next to your attorney. And once you finish following the directions of our clerk, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Mr. Becker.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm just gonna need to get your right hand on that blue list.
Now,
Yes, sir. Okay, so you can come. And here is a copy of your certificate. This is for your records. You don't need to be here. Yep.
thank you. Have a blessed.
All right, same to you, Mr. Bessert. Mr. Freeman, that's your last case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go. Happy anniversary and have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't know what to do. No, they want something. They want something.
Let's see,
They
Mr.
said they don't, but it's always a trap.
Yeah.
Lenny Williams. It's cause number 329728. Case is style of state of Texas versus Lenny James Williams. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Williams?
I'm all right, sir. You?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Williams. You represented here by your attorney, Mr. Wright Kimler. Mr. Kimler, how are you doing?
I'm blessed, Your Honor.
That's good. Now, Mr. Kimler, what's your announcement on Mr. Williams'
Trial.
trial? Okay. You can get your reset from our court coordinator. She'll give you a trial date.
Okay.
And Mr. Williams, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And I think, Mr. Kimler, this is your only case. You'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you can go in the office.
Oh, it's gonna be.